how do we start to get the tools to change our circumstances, to be the people that we actually want to be?
You ready to talk?
Yeah, I'm ready to talk.
What we gonna talk about today? What we gonna talk about today? Talk talker, talk talker.
Okay, so I want to kind of talk to us about power and perception. As I'm thinking about the steps that I'm taking after graduation, I think about power and perception, like the power of understanding what you want to do versus the perception of believing that you can do that thing. So, for example, I am very much interested in intersecting community, very much intersecting scholarship and social change, and really us having conversations around the things that can push us towards liberation. Like that's what I'm interested in. Now, the perception of that for me is asking questions of how am I going to do that together, and how do I find spaces and create spaces to do that? That's my perception. But the perception of others is always, now what the hell are you going to do with a theater degree? Literally, the first thing, right? Like it's the first thing. I'm fascinated by this because I'm asking questions like, if we believe we have the power to change our circumstances, but we don't have the path to get there, how do we start to get the tools to change our circumstances, to be the people that we actually want to be, the people that we may envision ourselves when we look in the mirror? And if you've ever had like a shoe, let me guess, if you've ever felt like you were in a rut, regardless to what people say about you, people can say, oh my gosh, you're so great. And you're probably wondering, why are you talking about people? As much as we try to act like we don't care about what people think, in all God's honesty, there is a percentage of us that does in some way. Now, does that affect us all the way? Maybe not. But it doesn't matter that we don't necessarily think maybe so much about what other people are thinking about, more so about the condition that society has put us in. And this is what I mean. As we talk about African American studies and the condition of Black people, we can't talk about those things without talking about the disparities, right? That the caste system, as Isabella Wilkerson, as Miss Wilkerson, as Isabella or Isabel. I want to say it's Isabella. If it's not Isabella, I'll put a correction. Miss Wilkerson would say we were born into, right? Like the condition of Black people wasn't just overnight, right? So, like, the reason why we're not able to have generational wealth, the reason why we are in health disparities, the reason why we don't have access to education is not just by the figment of our imagination because we don't want it or because we don't even want to wield the willpower to do the thing. It is because we have systems and policies in place to do the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be completely honest, my mother was like the second generation of integration. Like they was busing her out of her school district to a different district to integrate. So when we talk about power, I'm thinking about power on a micro and on a macro. But specifically, I want to talk about power right now in the micro. Like, how do we begin to move forward to be the people that we want to be and using the tools that we have, developing those tools and acquiring more, even if you decide you don't want to go to college. And one of the things my father used to say was, he'd talk about education. Two things he would say. He would say, listen, you need to go to school. You need to go to school. But the second thing he would say is that you need to find something to do with your hands. He would always say, if you work with your hands, you'll never be able to job. Now, my father, Lord rest his soul, came from a different era. But the fact is very true still. If you know how to do something with your hands, you'll never be unemployed. We're moving into the virtual age now, where, of course, if you're moving virtually, then you're able to do things like be a social media influencer, be able to monetize that way, be able to make money off of digital products, and so on and so forth. But having a skill set and acquiring a skill set, regardless to how you decide to make your money, the benefits of gaining more skill sets and putting more tools in your toolbox can only sharpen you. The one way that I can say that has helped me, number one, being around people that are sharper than me, being around individuals that not only inspire me to sharpen my craft and walk in my purpose, but people that actually know more than me, like know more information, and not being insecure about somebody knowing more than me or knowing something different than I do. And this doesn't necessarily mean that they went to school. Oh, no, 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 no. Because the education comes in many different ways, as my father reminded me. People sometimes think that you have to go to school, you have to get a degree to be educated, and that's not the truth. That book smarts and survival smarts, two different concepts, yet both educated. Huh? So I say that to say, getting around individuals that know different things and are aspiring to do more and be more than what they are in the sense of progression by operating in their purpose, naturally it's going to sharpen me. Because like my mama likes to say, iron sharpen iron. Huh? Okay. The second thing is really writing out what I do well and the things I would like to work on, and then finding those resources. So that brings me to number two. I was at the library today. I was at the library because my iPad is cool, love it, but it's not a computer. And I needed a computer. And I'm not ashamed that I need to go to the library. Okay. So go to the library, and I'm looking at all these free resources that they have, from technology, offering different Chromebooks to neighborhoods, to classes and workshops that are for free. And even if I just decide to sit in it, I'm still gaining something, because from the moment that I decided that I want to get up and do it to the moment I actually get there is a journey, and we never know what happens in the in between. Magic happens in the in between, just getting to a destination. So that brings me to number three. So number two was getting resources that are free, which means that we number three, which probably should be number two. You got to go out there and see what's out there. We got to go out there and see what's out there. What is out there for free? There's so many organizations, and I talk about libraries specifically because they have so many free resources that offer things to community in a way that we wouldn't get anywhere else for the free or for the low, whether that's housing, jobs, healthcare, and education. Now, mind you, what I say, education is not just about going to school. It is about gaining skill sets and being around people that are doing the things that they want to do and operating in their purpose at a level at which is productive. Iron sharpen iron. Number four, what is it about my skill sets that I can apply to sharpen my weaknesses? For example, my mother has always been a reader, like since I was a kid. She just been reading. And I was like, ugh, that's nasty. Judge me. I I came to terms with it long ago in my Luther Vandross voice. Reading was not my thing, but with maturity came the realization that I had. Because I don't know if y'all heard that car. Yeah, get your alarm. I'm making a video. But with maturity came the realization that, like, Chanel, you don't really always maybe want to eat a green vegetable, but because you want your skin glowing and you want like frequent bowel movements and you want to actually feel good because you need nutrients, you're going to have to eat them. So just like I ate vegetables when I didn't necessarily want to, I had to start reading. I had, mm, mm. And when I tell you I was well into my adult years, 20s, I ain't talking about 21, 22, 26, 27, 26, 27. That's what I said. And getting involved with reading in a way that felt very much like force. I'm not going to lie. I would get books and just like force myself to read. And I know you're probably saying, Chanel, that shit boring though. Ain't it an ebook or a movie? It is an ebook. Try the ebook because wherever you get your information and your audio books, get it. However, the principle of it is making time to do it because the knowledge that is within the textbook or within books all across different types of subjects provide so much information that can sharpen skills that we don't have. Gaining the maturity to say, let me get some information somewhere else, even if I don't quite like it. And what I found, like anything else, like working out, start building that muscle, it gets stronger and stronger. And before I knew it, I was getting books just to read. Now, I'm not saying you're going to turn into me. And I don't want you to turn into me. I want you to turn into you. And that's why we're having this conversation because it's for us to grow separately, to grow together. And in some instances, together to grow separately. But that's a different conversation for another day. Okay? Getting your tools through other mediums that we may not necessarily want to do. My last tip, which I believe is 5, is being honest about the areas in our lives that are keeping us away from our true selves. Now, for somebody, that might be what they consider financial. Let's say you work a 9 to 5, it always gets you tired. You're doing overtime. You don't feel like you got no time to be putting nowhere else because you're stressed out and you are on survivor mode. Trust me, I get that. Don't let this second degree fool you. Don't let the second degree. No, I know about having to get up and go to work and fend for yourself and be tired and stressed out and you don't want to go to work, you don't want to see them people. But what we're talking about is an investment in yourself. Even if it's just 30 minutes a day and exercising one of the 5 that we just talked about, you too can start sharpening yourself in a way that feels good to you, in a way that feels like it's feeding you. You feel me? Okay. Being honest about maybe it's the people we hanging around. Sometimes it be the people. A lot of times it be the people. It be the people. It be the people. It be our circle. Is our circle reflecting of what we desire? And when I mean what we desire, I don't mean like, hey, I want to be an actress and my partner wants to make music, so we can't hang with each other. Mm-mm. What I'm saying is, I'm trying to be focused to get to where I gotta go, and you really want to spend all night drinking and smoking and clubbing every day. If I hang around you 75% of the time, how much time am I spending towards getting towards what I'm trying to do? And even if what I'm trying to do, I don't quite got like the entire blueprint for it, I know what I'm trying to do ain't smoking and drinking and partying and hanging out all night long, every day. We know that much. Okay, for some of us, it's the emotional hold up. Emotional holdups can be in different areas. It could be with your family, it can be in a relationship, it can be with yourself. Because you tell yourself one thing, and then once you tell yourself that one thing, you say, oh, I can't do that. They like to call it imposter syndrome. Call it what you want. But the number one thing that'll keep a person from not really like getting where they want to go is how they talk to themselves. That self talk. And we can get into that too. That self talk, that self talk to be like, man, I ain't even got this to be able to do this. Like I woke up this morning and I was like, shoot, I really don't quite feel like. And I said, you know what? Now I could say I don't quite feel that, yes, and how can I still take that feeling and repurpose it to at least accomplish one or two things on my list? That self talk. For somebody else, it literally is just not being able to have the conversation to feed off of. Whatever that is in our areas in our life that we feel like that is holding us up, we have to start taking back our power and perception. We have to start taking back our power and our voices so that the things around us can really start to change. All right, now I feel like I've been doing a lot of talking. I am the top talker. However, this conversation has concluded. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But before I go, I want to leave you with a quote. One of my favorite quotes by James Baldwin. You see that the light done changed because it's getting dark out, so that means I got to go. James Baldwin. Not everything faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. That's it. That's all. I love y'all. The Top Talker is out.